swagger, okay? Regardless of what happens out there. Doesn't matter. Keep your swagger.
Welcome to the 5-Hole Fantasy Hockey Podcast. This is your shutdown shift. We are your hosts tonight, Alan with a couple drinks in him, and Jay. Jay, how we feeling? I know you traveled. You made it back, obviously, safely. Did you go anywhere interesting?
Oh, man, honestly, dude, there's nothing about holding tiny human lives. Just to visit.
Oh, family.
Nephew,
okay,
honestly.
awesome.
Hell yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, before we get into the show, obviously, wherever you're following us, we appreciate you. Love you. And make sure to like, subscribe on those podcast platforms. Leave us that 5-star review. Follow us on Twitter if you're there. I've been trying to be more active on the Twitter lately. I think I'm even like doubling up on stuff TJ's been doing there. Jump in the Discord. I've been helping one of our regulars, Caffeine Academy, like work out this mega trade for like 3-4 days now. I actually need to follow up with them on that. I feel like I left them hanging the last day. I've been busy at work. And then a website, got some great tools out there. I know TJ was using it on the script this past Sunday, FHFhockey.com. So let me pop up the slides there and let's get into the headlines. So storylines. I call this one, how do I hold all these goalies? Like the meme. So we got a couple teams out there with a 3-headed goalie monster. Buffalo and Carolina, both for some reason, I don't know why, they're carrying 3 goalies. Buffalo right now has Ukko-Pekka Lehkonen, UPL, Alex Lyon, and Colton Ellis, who did get the start tonight or is getting the start tonight. I don't know if that game started. And in Carolina, much to my chagrin, because I have a personal stake in this, they have Freddie Anderson, Pyotr Kochekov, and I don't know his first name because he doesn't matter to me, Busi. I don't know, Jay. I don't like this at all. This is terrible for us as fantasy managers. I mean, does this kind of reduce these? I mean, well, Buffalo was already kind of a team. You stream those goalies at your own risk. But Carolina, I mean, does this kind of reduce these guys to a stream at best for goalie starts? Because, I mean, what's the certainty there of carrying any of those goalies?
And I mean, I think even worse, too, is the fact that Freddie's day-to-day as well, right? So I think
I think it was he got pulled by concussion spotters.
Yeah, it's a tough one, right? Like he's so injury prone. And I think
but that's why I drafted him late. Like he was, I knew he was injury prone, but when he's in, he's good.
And I think generally speaking, that's been Carolina goaltending in general. Very reliable. They almost trick you. You know what I mean? Just in terms of just the upside is just there. You look at the standings, they're always just hanging around. And then, yeah, fantasy-wise, just that entire team has difficult stretches, right? Like even now, when we're talking about not just the crease, but Svech, I think, is now back. He's stapled to the front. He's stapled to the top line. How long do we see this trending? What if that's true also? Like, Alan, if we see Busi, is Busi gonna, get a run of starts and, right, carry this team forward?
Yeah. I mean, even Kochekov has shown that he is also a little injury prone.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. I don't know. My only issue is, aside from Anderson, I don't know if any of these guys are necessarily just keep around just in case. Like you look at how they've been playing as well. Like Kochekov has definitely been riding the coattails of his, what do you call it? I guess his reputation.
Yeah.
Because I mean, how many games has he started so far? He's played 3 games.
Well, and now that I think about it, I think a couple of these guys didn't get camp. They were injured through camp, like UPL. I feel like had some sort of issue, and that was why Buffalo signed Georgiev. Carolina, I think it was Kochekov missed camp, had to do like a 1-game conditioning stint in the minors. So which is probably why they have 3 goalies at the moment, but they need to stop. Just stop.
I will say this is pretty impressive. So if you go to Kochekov's last little bit, it looks as though he's played only 2 games, but he's actually had 3 appearances. And the main thing is you could say he did nothing, or you could actually say like his team's defense was so stellar that he only had 3 minutes, almost 4 minutes of ice time in the last little bit. And the Canes didn't give up a single shot on goal in that time frame, right? So maybe you are correct in the sense that this is what you are buying, right? When it comes to any of these goalies, you're also buying into the Carolina D, which is a very good defense to be buying into.
And that's why I'm like, you know what, Freddie, like low risk in like the second to last round. Like I know he won't get all the starts, but when he's healthy, he's great. Like the team in front of him is great. Yeah, I just don't like that it could be a 3-headed goalie monster.
Do we think that Boosie probably is the value here? Everyone else, 50%
start. Yeah, I'd say some of his spot starts have been really good. But yeah,
because I don't think Caden Primo is the guy. Like if we're really gonna,
didn't he get sent down and claimed by someone else, or claimed by the team that originally sent him down? I forget.
Yeah, I think Carolina claimed him from Toronto, but then
this is what gets me into trouble, is not knowing all these prospects.
Oh God, but it's just brutal. He's at 838. He's at 838 save percentage. Caden Primo, like I don't even know, Alan. Like maybe
I was just he's like a 3rd, 4th stringer, like, and that's why I don't care.
But is he going to get the Carolina treatment? I mean, where like he comes on in and they make all these average looking goalies look like gods,
like 9-4 Vezina caliber goalies. Yeah, I don't know. But moving on. So titling this one, the feature is now Old Man. So I mean, before Soy Boy and McKinnon kind of messed everything up. The Art Ross race looked a little different, but yes, Nathan McKinnon now leads with like 32 points. But it's interesting to see guys like Leo Carlson, Macklin Celebrini, Connor Bedard in the mix. I think, Leo Carlson was in there at like 26 points, like Celebrini at 26, Connor Bedard at 25. Like these were guys that we didn't draft very high, Jay. Like that's insane to think now that like you probably have won like some of your first few weeks because you took these guys late. Like I know in our Bangers After Bangers league, I forget what round I drafted Bedard in, but now it's like, damn, like I probably won like my 2 weeks I won because of Connor Bedard and Celebrini.
And it's bizarre as well, Alan, because I think crazy value as they would have been, like I've been holding on to Celebrini in several leagues, but the thing is that I've honestly been such a streamer that, like he had a tough start. I think the first 2 or 3 games of the season, they had a terrible schedule. I think then following week, like they're in positions where there's a lot of value everywhere else as well, like in their center onlys. But yeah, like it's kind of crazy. I think Carlson is probably the guy more than anything that is like quite, I guess, like surprising relatively for me.
Yeah,
but he's also the guy that's honestly,
especially because he missed camp. Like I usually, anytime any of those guys miss camp like that, you're like, yeah, he's not going to get going until like mid-December.
100%. I'm just looking at the guys that are in the leadership board though, and it's kind of tough. Like I'm looking at, I guess, like
cool seeing these young guys. Like, I looked it up. Like Leo Carlson's like 20. Like Celebrini and Bedard are both like 19, 20. Like
like true. Like I think one of the phrases that was best stated was the follically challenged, and I was like, that is so apt. That is exactly what we're referring to.
Looking like Pederin.
I love it, Armin. Welcome in. I was going to say a shout out as well, because Alan, I think one other thing that gets understated a bit is just, like we really here on the pod always talk about positional scarcity. I think a huge shout out should go to Cutter Gauthier and Matthew Nyes, those guys that are left wing, just on the wing and, like nowhere near the top comparative to like the big name guns like Carlson, Celebrini, and Bedard. But hey, you can snag you know what I mean? Like a Nazem Kadri, and he's going to service you. He's going to do like, enough to provide for you. But you get Nazem Kadri's like, Frank, I mean, like, who's on his line now? Is it Coronado? Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, there's some other guy on the wing that's not going to do anywhere near as valuable, right? Flip side, if you got Carlson, or if you got Carlson, you might have somebody else that can slot in. If you don't get Cutter Gauthier, you might not have another dude that you can just pound into that wing and produce week to week. Crazy value out.
Perfect timing. Armin's asking, like, so what kind of guy would you have to trade to get someone like Cutter or Leo? I would say the price is too high. It'd be like trying to buy a share of Berkshire Hathaway. Like you
Right.
you just can't right now. I think you would have to give up like someone you drafted in like the first round, like a Matthews or someone very high to get someone like that. I don't think someone's going to be willing to part with someone like that right now.
Well,
You'd have to wait for them to go on like a cold streak.
Well, an interesting one I thought too would be like you'd kind of be flipping names, right? Like at the core, like what if you had a Tom Wilson? You know what I mean? Like if you had a Tom Wilson,
depending on your scoring,
right? You might be able to flip it, but then it'd be almost like it would only be a win-win situation if the other guy also needed a right winger and you could offload a left winger. So, or you know how I'm phrasing it, like one of the wings needed to be inverted of some sort.
Yeah.
But aside from that, if you're looking even at the top names, right, like Cutter Gauthier is probably performing. He's going to be the Frank for Toronto. What's with all these guys on the Ducks that end up being like crazy fantasy value dudes?
Right. And that's Armin said, what about Terry? If you have Terry, I would hang on to him. But like well, I would say, I think last time I looked at the Ducks, they're redlining like that. I would say some of that stuff's not sustainable.
You were saying everything was screaming
I think
unsustainable.
their shooting percentage is still one of the highest in the league. So that's going to come down. I'm not going to say they're going to crater. 13.1% team shooting percentage. I'm not saying that they're going to crater down to earth and not score at all. And then their power play 23%. So that's probably pretty sustainable. I just if you have Ducks, I would hold them or sell very high.
It's very tough, right? Like they are top of the division right now. And at the end of it, right? Like you look at that goal difference for them as well. It looks as though it's carrying.
What are they? Are they or are they one of the highest scoring teams in the league right now?
Yeah,
they're the second highest goals for behind the Avs.
Which is nuts to say. Oh my God. Like
they're tied with the Avs for goals for per game. Yeah. You gotta hold.
It's also,
we've gotten in the weeds here.
I'm gonna quote Matty K here. And I think Matty K said it right, where he was like, ride the Flames, I guess, ride the streaks of the Flames. And that's kind of what you have to do right now. I think if you're selling high, yes, you could sell high, but the thing is, these guys are going to win you enough weeks now. And I think the time to sell could still be like, I guess, like pushed a little bit later is how I'm feeling it for the Ducks. Like,
especially right someone like, what was it? Chris Kreider. Well, last time I checked, it was shooting at like 33%. Like that's obviously not going to hold, but I bet someone will bite. Like not for like someone like Austin Matthews or anything crazy, but someone, I don't know, someone you drafted in like the third, fourth round, maybe like a not Brandon Hagel. I feel like he's kind of getting, the Brandon Hagel did leave tonight. Someone maybe like a Braden Point, maybe that's not performing up to where they should.
You also want to see where the Ducks go because the rest of this week is going to be relatively, I'm going to say it like crazy as it sounds right now for the Ducks, but it's pretty winnable, right? Like they are facing off against the Red Wings. They're facing off against the Wild, right? Like these are, well, I mean, the Red Wings are top in the East, but I don't know, Alan, what's the stat now? Who knows? I feel like the last place team could win a couple games and then become top. So like,
everything's that compressed.
Everything's compressed. But the thing is, the week afterwards, like that is going to be the true test determinant week, right? Because they are facing off against Utah, Boston, Ottawa, Vegas. Like it seems like a yikes week, But this is the week where you're seeing like all these teams, you know, these could be flip-floppy games. If the Ducks come out there with like two wins and like 2 overtime losses or something, you're going to really think like this might be way more sustainable than we're envisioning. And you want to ride in the flames of that. The Ducks might be this year's Ducks, the 25-26 Ducks might be last year's Washington Capitals, right?
There we go.
You want that sort of value.
Cool. Yeah. Let's get out of the weeds into the injuries. Shane Gostisbehere returned yesterday, Tuesday. So obviously I'm sure he did resume his role on Power Play 1. So what does this mean for Keandre Miller? I mean, he had like 4 points in his last 3 games, but most of those were on the power play. So that kind of makes those meaningless. I mean, he's not really good for hits. Like he does shoot a little bit. I think he was good for like 1 block a game in those 3. I mean, are we hanging on to him, Jay? I don't think the Hurricanes really have like a super great schedule. Can we safely drop Keandre Miller?
I don't think so, because they have an incredible coming week. Like they play on all the off nights in that week, like from November 17 on. I think he would be the guy you would hold on, but you're holding on to him not because he's actually good. I completely agree with the statements about, you know, his potential run-up upside is bad. He just happens to have an amazing week. Oh God, Alan, we're currently in week 6. So then he has an amazing week 7, which indicates that you want him to basically as like on your team, a stream that was free. You saved yourself an ad by holding on to Keandre. But come week 8, like I haven't even clicked through like for week 8 yet, but I'm just going to hazard a guess here that if he doesn't also have a perfect off night setup for week 8, yeah, that's when you get rid of him. Oh, let's look. Yeah. Isn't that perfect? He doesn't even play until Wednesday, November 26th in week 8. So that's when you go, you let him fly. Actually, Alan, maybe I spoke too soon.
He's a peacock, man. You got to let him fly.
He also has all off nights. Oh, no, shit. Never mind. Yeah, you definitely want to let him go. 15 games, both on the Wednesdays and the Friday. Is that the Thanksgiving weekend? Is that what it is?
When is Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving is what, November 28th? Thursday?
The 27th.
27th.
I think it's the last Thursday.
I
should know, but I don't.
Anyways, the big one is, he's got a pretty...
I should know. It's the American holiday. Whatever.
The Canes have got a pretty shit schedule for the week 8. So don't worry about dropping him for that week. But he just so happens to be on a team with an amazing week 7. So you are holding on to him, not because of any of what I'm saying to detract from Alan saying the value is going. Wait, the value is gone. He just happens to have an amazing week 7 schedule.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'd say like probably like a 10-team, 8-team, like throw him back. Like pretty, if anything deeper, like 12 or deeper, maybe. But yeah, moving on. Thatcher Demko, man. Snip, snap. He was out for some kind of load management thing over the weekend, came back, and then was immediately injured in, I think, the game yesterday. But now he's out 2 to 3 weeks, unrelated to the original injury. I don't know. I mean, Kevin Lankinen, obviously the guy here. I mean, you know what? I kind of like what the Canucks have coming up here. They kind of have a 3 games in 4 nights coming up. So they have a good weekend, and then they have like the rollover into Sunday, Monday, back to back. I mean, if you need goalie help, do we trust Kevin Lankinen to get us through this?
I absolutely trust Kevin Lankinen. Like, my big one too is I'm starting to really feel like Demko, like he doesn't have any of the Band-Aid boy connotations, because we haven't, like straight up called him a Band-Aid boy left, right, and center over time. But Alan, I think this is like 2 full years since this man has been like healthy night in, night out.
And I thought he finally was. And then this is exactly why I've avoided him in drafts. Even in later rounds, I just feel like I don't know why he just doesn't feel like he can stay healthy. When he does, though, he's amazing, man. I still have like not a core memory, but I still just remember him putting on that fucking clinic in the Bubble Cup against Vegas, man. Just putting on a
He was
clinic.
incredible. He was
But
incredible.
he just, I don't know why he can't stay healthy, but when he does, he's amazing. I just can't trust him enough to draft him.
Maybe, Alan, this is the thing too, where it's like I see some teams that are like fantasy gods, right? Alan, actually, Vazzy has always been himself a fantasy god, right? It was only like you made the joke
Not
about
tonight,
him getting.
Not tonight.
You made the joke about him carrying so many teams on their backs that he had to literally
back surgery.
go get back surgery. And that's your Connor Hellebucks as well, right? Like we aspired, and I guess in some ways, or we're inspired when we see guys like those, and we just kind of like cross-pollinate and want to see other like reflections of it. And I think when I see Thatcher Demko, all I'm seeing is just like a reflected inverted version of like Freddie Anderson, you know, where it's like this man will always remain day to day for the rest of the time. And it's like, if only while he sits on my IR plus. Yeah, 100%.
So next up, Valerie Nichushkin out with the lower body injury. Still being evaluated, but Bednar was quoted as saying he will miss some time for sure. To me, the beneficiary already kind of on a little bit of a hot streak. I think Victor Olofsson gets a boost here, like not necessarily in deployment, but probably going to see some more ice time, which could help him score some. So, I don't know. To me, like if you don't already have Victor Olofsson, probably someone to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think the Avs have like a glorious schedule like right now or coming up, but I don't know. Victor Olofsson, he's someone I keep wanting to try to pick up because, I mean, Lehkonen was kind of cooling off for me, and then I was like, maybe I should go grab Olofsson, but then Lehkonen scored some lately. But yeah, no, I feel like Olofsson could be the beneficiary from this.
Lehkonen is so frustrating. Like, if he
I've always wanted him to be the guy over Nichushkin.
If he could just staple himself to
Lehkonen is line one.
Nichushkin's out. So does that mean his power play one shifts over and Lehkonen gets it? Oh, that'd be incredible. It's just, why can't he get the stapled line one, power play one? You know what I mean? He gets the stapled line one, or he gets the stapled power play one, but he can't seem to like consolidate the two together, which is kind of what Nichushkin was always able to do, right? Like, I don't know. Like, it's very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Although I will say Brock Nelson, finally we're seeing like rumblings, right? He's moved out of the power play one, right? So I guess maybe they just trust McKinnon to win the faceoffs outright. But yeah, all in all, I don't know. Alan, I think more than anything, the real guy that we're talking about for value, like, it's got to be Gavin Brindley, no?
You think he's going to be the top beneficiary here? I mean, maybe like in deployment, I don't know. I like I said, I almost feel like unofficial deployment. I feel like Olofsson might be the guy here.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay. I'm talking from the angle where like Brindley was given, you know, the overtime minutes, the power play minutes, the new contract, like a lot of those things. If you're talking, I guess, like the buy real, like I guess if we're really digging into the weeds to try to buy low and grab a guy here for like a longer slate, I'm thinking Brindley, but yeah, I mean, shorter term, probably it is going to be Olofsson first.
Yeah, like I said, it may not show on like a depth chart, but I don't know. I feel like Olofsson might show a little bit more on the box score here, but I don't know. And then next up, Thomas Chabot, Auto Centers, out with an upper body injury, still being evaluated. I don't know. I feel like this is not super fantasy relevant. He was more like a peripherals guy at this point. Maybe if Sanderson went out, Chabot moved up to power play one. I feel like if you need those riffs, Artem Zub, a great next man up on that team. But man, Lightning, the hits do not stop coming for them. Victor Hedman Anthony Cirelli, probably the most fantasy relevant injuries that were both out tonight for the Lightning. Ryan McDonough was also out, which probably only really fantasy relevant if you wanted blocks or plus minus. But Brandon Hagel apparently took 3 shifts tonight and then left the game. Not great.
They got killed as well.
Great.
Like
they got walloped.
Tough.
Even Vazzy could not lift the team on his back and leave one set of footprints on the sand. So
great,
move on to the
great quote. I will say notably though, did anyone check out who's the recipient of that power play 1? Was it Moser?
Oh yeah, shit, that was in my notes. So Darren Radish moved up to power play 1 in Victor Hedman's place. So that was gonna be my question: is are we interested in Radish? I mean, Kucherov is kind of the mastermind of that power play. The Lightning don't play again until Saturday, where they then have a back-to-back against Florida and Vancouver.
Well, you see, Radish had 5 shots tonight, and like I just have to like watch the tapes again because I'm like, this dude doesn't seem like he takes that many shots. So I'm like, if he's got this uptick, I'm assuming he's doing stuff on the power play. Is reasonable to guess.
Darren Radish.
So that being
he's kind of been like the heir apparent D-man for them. I don't know, kind of long-term plans, what we do with them. I don't know. I don't know why they don't give it to JJ Moser or freaking, I don't know why they don't give Destu a shot. He's apparently one of the few players on the team right now that wants to shoot the puck.
What about Crozier? Is he
more of a defensive guy-ish? But
no,
I'm surprised they don't give Destu a shot.
No, I was realizing I was almost going to say like, yeah, they gave him power play 2. No, they gave him penalty kill 1. Never mind.
Just as long as they don't play Lilleberg. Oh God. But yeah, Darren Radish is the guy you're looking for if you want to replace Victor Hedman. For what that's worth.
Cirelli replacements?
Oh my God, who'd they have? Yanni Gord played line 2.
What about Oliver Bjorkstrand?
Bjorkstrand would have been the wing on line 2.
Yeah, I guess he gets power play 1, but yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Hagel wouldn't be on power play 1, so you're not really looking to replace that production. Line 2 takes a huge hit on Tampa with Hagel if Hagel's out for any length of time, and with Cirelli out. We can preview. So best schedules, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. There is only one team, and TJ hit on it. Sunday is New York Islanders. The 3 main guys you want to look at: Emil Heineman, Anders Lee, Kyle Palmieri. They were all still pretty available. I think they're around 30-ish% ownership out there. To me, any kind of bangers like categories league, Emil Heineman is priority ad, I think.
Allen, you have to say his name. Come on. He's getting power play 1.
If every other player on the New York Islanders is dead, then Jonathan Drouin is out there.
Oh man. You just had to say he's a power play 1, but yeah.
And he's probably still less than 10% owned.
You really have to scroll down to find Jonathan Drouin. It's kind of incredible with his deployment, how far you still have to scroll down. Like that's
insane.
Little.
It's insane.
It's
but he's
insane.
Just terrible. I would say the guys you want to add though are still pretty widely available. I don't know anyone you're looking at. I would say for riffs, Romanov.
Yeah, I'm like, there's your classic dudes, right? Like, there's always like Ryan Pollock. He gets a fair amount of blocks. Like, he's going up there. He's what, like almost 2 blocks a game. Tony D is the interesting one as well, right? Like,
power play 2 though.
Yeah, 2 shots a game. I don't know. Like, we'll have to see. Like, does he get any other production with them? Like the Anders Lee and Heineman we just mentioned are on that power play too. So maybe not dudes known for offensive prowess. So maybe never mind. Yeah, we'll just we'll stick with the names we got.
And then Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, we got 2 teams here. Detroit. I feel like we got a couple old reliables here. Patrick Kane is back, so he'll be power play 1. He's 40%, so kind of just go check territory. Emmett Feeney Finney is
Yeah.
line 2 now. They've moved to Brinkett up to line 1. So, like I said, he had been stinking it up for a while now. Probably not even worth it for the Riffs. I think those had taken a back seat. But 4 Riffs on that team. I think the old reliables have been Sherratt, Simone Edvinson. Those were kind of your guys. Not much else going for that team.
Let's keep going.
Vegas, really, most of those guys for points are pretty much owned up. This is a team you might just stream for periffs, and it's probably the same guys we talk about. Braden McNabb, Jeremy Lazon, Keegan Kolazar, although Keegan Kolazar has that, like, might stumble backwards into a point for you.
Yes.
But
he just needs the minutes. He just needs the minutes to actually.
This Caden Korshak guy kind of stuck out to me. I think he had quite a few hits so far in the season.
Yes.
Must be like a rookie or something, because I'd never seen his name pop up before.
He doesn't get the minutes. That's the only issue. Same with Keegan Kolesar too, right? These guys. So that Caden dude you mentioned, he's a D-man that gets 16 minutes a night, which is, like solid low end D2. Well, maybe lower than that. And then Keegan Kolesar gets 10 minutes a night. So I don't know. Like, past Lazon, Alan, we probably are going to say, like, you're really going to need the play. Otherwise, like, they get an off night, or like Vegas gets a couple extra power plays. These guys are sitting at like less than 10 minutes of ice time.
Yeah, and that's what, again, like, these are kind of peripheral plays. Like, there's no one really going to get you like a significant ice time for points plays. So it's, I don't know. Vegas just deeply owned. So Friday, Sunday, we got a couple good teams here. Nashville. Probably the play here is to pick these guys up for Friday, Sunday, and then drop them. They don't play again until next Saturday.
What?
I'm wondering. Yeah.
What is that schedule?
Like, it's weird. I don't know. I wonder if it's like a game. I wonder if
all of next week.
I wonder if it's a global game. I feel like it's a global game.
Alan, they play one game in week 7, and that one game is against the Avs. What? Yeah, this is like drop every single pred you possibly have.
Well, obviously, Yossi's in your IR, but don't drop Forsberg, don't drop Saros, drop Stamkos, like TJ said in the video short that's on our channel now, if you're not watching those. But yeah, what was it? They just had that guy who had a hat trick, Matthew Wood. I think he's just getting some power play time, would be a nice guy to pick up. I'd say there's plenty of streamer level guys on this team now. Ryan O'Reilly, Stamkos, Brady Shea still out there.
I think is an interesting one too. Yeah. But yeah, aside from that, you're right. It's not exactly all these guys are temporary usages.
Pittsburgh. Favorite streamer of mine. I'm hoping Yahoo gets on the ball very soon. Fantrax has already given him right wing eligibility. Ben Kendall. He's center only in Yahoo, but since it's Friday, Sunday, you'll probably have an easier time fitting him in. He's playing on the wing with Crosby. He does take faceoffs. I watched a reel of him taking faceoffs because I wanted to make sure I was pronouncing his name right. And he is getting power play 1. He's only 6% owned. Anthony Mantha, I feel like, is the high risk, high reward play here. He's 18%. Just go check on Crystal Tang. He's kind of available out there, 43%.
Alan, do you think Justin Brazeau is worth holding in your IR?
He was kind of unsustainable before he went out.
He was on the trending downwards end for sure compared to the rising upwards trend. But yeah, he was just the first guy I cut because I didn't have space in my IR plus. I was running a hospital ward, and so
but yeah, next up, Vancouver. Again, this is probably a slightly longer than weekend play because again, they play Friday, Sunday, and then Monday. The 3 guys you probably want to look at were pretty widely available when I looked. Brock Besser, Connor Garland, Evander Kane, pretty much all three of those guys are getting top 6 power play 1 deployment, especially in any kind of bangers cats league. Evander Kane, man, like he may not be as good as he was kind of when he first got to Edmonton, but he's getting the deployment there, and as a result, like he's actually putting up numbers.
He is shooting, and that's a huge. Like I know there was that wrist injury a couple seasons back or 1 season back at this point, and that kept him out of commission for a very long time. And I think Hyman also broke out at the same time, so he kind of lost that sort of, I guess, top Edmonton spot. The other guy that's shooting a ton too is Jake DeBrusk, 22% ownership. Like he would be an interesting one, especially with dual eligibility. But yeah, I mentioned he shoots a lot. DeBrusk doesn't really do much else aside from that. So yeah,
that's why I said like probably the guys you really want are Besser, Garland, Kane. Did I? You know what? I got to check real quick. I think I'm misremembering, but I thought I saw something about Quinn Hughes might have been out or left a game or something.
That's another one, but I think he just came back and logged 27 minutes last night. But I don't. Yeah, that team is really, really having a. I don't want to say tough time, but it just feels as though they have an imbalance of that league winning. Well, not league winning, like they were top of the Pacific one season. That season was predicated on a lot of success from guys like Dakota Joshua, right? Like, I mean, it remains to be seen if like Kiefer Sherwood can keep that up. Like, it's kind of crazy to see Kiefer Sherwood 11 goals, 1 assist. Like,
right? Isn't he leading the team in goals right now? Like that's
he is. Like, and you kind of wonder, like you see him, like he is screaming out in unsustainability and metrics across the board. I just wish he
got him sell high.
Yeah, I would say agreed. And the other one I would say too is like, why can't they just have him? I don't know. Like, line 1 right now is what? Petey, Kane, Garland, right? You would see and look if you're looking across those guys. Maybe just have Sherwood take all those. Well, who's on this line too? Let's see. He's with Besser and Myers. No, Besser. No, Myers. He was with Besser and Reichel. What? Reichel?
Yes. Oh, so yeah. Reichel came over from Chicago in a trade recently. They like desperately needed like a center with Philly Hedl injured.
Right.
Even then, they desperately needed just center depth, and Reichel wasn't getting ice time in Chicago.
But he's not getting ice time in Vancouver either. His last 2 games, he's gotten 10 minutes of pop. Like, what is happening in Vancouver, man?
It's better than the 0 Hedl can play right now. Let's move on to goalie streams. So these are a little shorter, so I'll kind of read these out. So Friday, Saturday back-to-backs, we got Carolina's doing their home versus Vancouver. They have a home stand against Vancouver and Edmonton. Philly is on the road at St. Louis, at Dallas, and then St. Louis has a home stand versus Philly in Vegas. I don't know if I especially like either I don't know if I especially like either one of these. Maybe if Dan Vladar is available against either one of those teams.
Yeah.
Maybe a random Carolina start against Vancouver.
Oh, it's tough. I just want to check like on some teams too. Like I think.
Dan Vladar is 37% owned. Yeah. I mean, especially against St. Louis. Give me Vladar against St. Louis if he's available in your league for sure.
No, I'm just literally checking because I think I'm so used to certain thought processes about teams, right? But I'm like, okay, Pittsburgh is still hanging around. They basically are riding Artur Shilovs into the ground, and if they don't, they have some dude called Murashov.
Yes, so I'm like, it was funny because we were trying to remember like who got called up, and I was like, Sergei Murashov, who sounded like he was like Russian first name, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Asian kind of like Japanese like last name, and I'm like, okay, all right, that is a player. Okay.
He's not really, Alan, lighting it up right now.
No,
889. I
I
know
think
this is one game.
it's one game.
It's just one
But
game.
the team seems pretty confident in him.
I'm kind of curious to see if he'd.
But that's
curious.
Pittsburgh though, not Philly.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Philly. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Carolina, whatever goalie is against Vancouver. If Vladar starts against St. Louis, I don't know if I'd take Vladar against Dallas.
I would probably lean Boosie.
If Boosie gets the start against Vancouver. Yeah, Boosie's been kind of pretty good against a lot of these teams. So Saturday, Sunday, we got Detroit. They are versus Buffalo, at New York Rangers, Minnesota home and home against Anaheim and Vegas. The New York Rangers at Columbus versus Detroit. Tampa.
It's gotta be quick, right? That's gotta be quick.
I'd take quick against either one of those teams.
Agreed.
Especially at Columbus, because as we know, like they are amazing on the road so far this season. Tampa, I mean, I would only take JJ or JoJo if Hedman and McDonough come back.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm not touching a JoJo start with a 35.5-foot pole. But it's at Florida versus Vancouver. JoJo would probably get the Vancouver start, which again wouldn't touch unless I get both Hedman and McDonough back. Vegas, they are on the road at St. Louis, at Minnesota. I don't know, man. That what's his name? Lindblom. Lindblom kid's pretty good. I saw him against Tampa. He's pretty good. Carl Lindblom. Yeah, he's pretty damn good. Like he
hasn't covered himself.
I would take him against either team.
Yeah, but he hasn't covered himself in glory since, right? Like he's been running 3 straight losses, like he's let in 11 goals since that one win against Tampa as well. Like
okay, I mean, but one of those games was against Colorado. One of those was against Florida, who can absolutely score. I mean, the Detroit. Well, no, he didn't get the Detroit.
He did get killed against Tampa, though. So
yeah, one of those Tampa games, he did get killed. Like.
Right.
Yeah, but his first start was a 9-2-9 against Tampa. Like, yeah, I would say, against St. Louis and Minnie, 2 of the lower scoring teams in the league. Yeah,
for sure.
If you're kind of hard up for a goalie start, especially for a win.
Yeah, playing the matchup for sure. But I think Akira Schmid is probably the big Hail Mary.
Oh yeah, if he's available.
Yeah.
That is who I can delightfully say, even though he continues to hurt me from the waiver wire, that is who I dropped Stuart Skinner for. I am done with him and the Oilers hurting me. So I dropped him and was hurt because after, oh my God, who did he lose to in that just awful display?
So you were saying
Stuart Skinner, he lost terribly to someone.
Yeah, he lost to the Avs.
Yeah, he decimated by the Avs, got pulled against them. He gets the win against Columbus, barely. And then he gets the win tonight against Philly, of course, with a 9-5-2. So he continues to just mock me from the wire. But I'm done. Like, he's hurt me too much. I don't know. What do I need? Like a Taylor Swift song or something? Like, he's not going to hurt me again.
It's crazy how he has let in 12 goals over the past 4 games, and the team still managed to rack out 2 wins out of that. Like, it's actually incredible. I need
a hero, right?
And
it's not Stuart Skinner.
Oh man, honestly, Alan, it's not just you. I think the Edmonton franchise and the fan base is screaming that same thing too. Anyways, this is for the Oilers to figure out and for us fantasy managers not to have to lose sleep over. My goodness.
So next week prep. So like I said, Vancouver, nice team to kind of pick up for the weekend, roll into. So best schedules. There's 3 teams that 4 games, 4 off nights. I don't think we've seen that in a minute.
No.
Boston, Buffalo, Carolina. And man, some of those teams are pretty friendly to stream from. Like this could be a nice week if you got some streamer spots. And then worst schedules, like we said, Nashville, 1 freaking game on Saturday. So that's a team, like if you want to open up some streamer spots, that's first up. And then teams that have 2 games, Pittsburgh, Ottawa, and Philly. So that takes care of that. And next up, we will move on to, as soon as I find the button for it, the mailbag.
You've got mail.
Mailbag.
So
You've got mail.
Mailbag.
Forgot to unclick the loop button. I tried to aim more from the Twitter audience this time, but we did have a question waiting for us in the Discord this time. From Patrick Fry. What can we expect from Dursey when he comes back? He was just dropped in his league, and this is as he's trying to sort of deal with someone to trade for a D-man with some good peripherals. He should be back soon, it looks like. What can we expect from him if he stays healthy? And then he's like Flynn previously. But his injury-prone history scares him, at least fantasy-wise. Utah is got a pretty schedule. So for me, I think we can kind of expect like a Neil Pionk type player, like if he can play a full season, 40, 45 points with pretty good peripherals. But if Sergachev goes down, power play 1.
For sure. It almost sounds crazy to say, Alan, but like Sean Dursey in my mind is basically just Shane Gostisbehere, just like with a different name. You know what I mean? Like exact same model, exact same dude who can handle the puck, can take over on the offensive side of the game, but just isn't durable enough to give you those sort of like Brent Burns types of minutes. And the problem for him is right now, the guys in front of him all have experience running power plays, right? Like Nate Schmidt at one point, like dude's running power play 2. Dude was running a power play 1 before. I'm trying to remember all the teams, Alan, that he was doing it on, but he's been journeyman.
Yeah, he was, I think he started on the Kings, if I remember right.
Yeah. They'd be like Schmidt would be like on the Kings. I think he was there at one point. Wasn't he on? He must have been on the Panthers at one point doing it, and like the Jets. Or something. Like it was just.
Or we're still talking about Dursey, sorry.
So no, I was talking about how Dursey has guys in his way that are stopping him from playing that sort of Shane Gostisbehere role.
Dursey,
and like
he was in LA, guys, so obviously would have been Doughty, and then Arizona.
Doughty,
I think there were a couple of guys in his way in Arizona, and then now Utah. Obviously, he has Sergachev.
Yeah, but I was saying even Nate Schmidt, right? Like, is a problem where Nate Schmidt running power play.
I feel like he's more a defensive defenseman. Have they been giving him power play time?
Yeah, he's the power play 2 right now. So he's the main guy that could be
Dursey would displace Dursey's out. Yeah.
I think Dursey would displace him. I think the issue is more so Dursey, in my mind, I find difficult to envision displacing both Schmidt and Sergachev like right off the hop, right? Like this is a guy that's going to be injured. He's going to be coming off. That's where I see him. I see him with, I guess, like who's that dude who's the dude that's now in the Rangers? Oh my goodness. Tony DeAngelo. Yeah, like Dursey could kind of play a Tony DeAngelo type of role where, you know, he could slot in and be like, oh, potential power play 1 guy. But yeah, without any of that production offensively, Dursey is not going to give you too much, which is why, Patrick, I was going to say, if you're seeing him dropped in your league and you're trying to think, okay, so now can I rotate out and trade, I guess, one of my existing decent D-men and then just kind of like pick up Dursey off the wire. Like, I think that could play a role. It really depends what other position you're bolstering by giving up your good D-man so that you can take on Dursey, because at the end of it, like, you probably want to double check who else is available aside from Dursey, just in case.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, but yeah, that's, I mean, that to me, that's the ceiling, is like a 40-45 point, which again is the same as Neil Pionk.
Absolute ceiling.
I'm not sure he
Absolute
gets
ceiling.
you. I'm not sure he gets you the same periffs though. Yeah, a couple blocks a game, doesn't really,
I think the
maybe
thing
one
is
hit,
too, with like a
one
quarter of the
2
season
shots a
almost
game.
done. Yeah, like a quarter of the season almost done now, you'd really think that Dursey is probably going to be leaning closer to the 30-35 point setup, right? Like, that's kind of how I'm envisioning. Like, he would probably have to score 2 out of every 3 games going forward in order for him to hit like a 40-45 point pace. I just think there are enough roadblocks and obstacles in his way where you would really need to focus and bolster your other position, and then you're grabbing Dursey as kind of like a supplement, as opposed to saying Dursey's going to be like the value, straight swap him in. He's going to produce at
There you
that
go.
same.
Yeah. We're looking at like a 4th, 5th defenseman for Dursey. He's not gonna
100%.
be an upgrade for anyone.
Agreed.
And then these next 2 are from Twitter. So first one is he shoots, he scores. Jordan Spence or Lori in a deep league for the rest of the season. I don't know. I kind of feel more Mason Lori.
God, that is, you were not kidding when you said a deep cut. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
I
Spence just kind of has too many.
I can't say Spence. No. I think Lowry,
especially as a D-man, I already see like a red flag for any kind of sustainability
the main one is
he has.
Lowry has more of the offensive upside, right? I think that's the issue, because, I mean, oh man, I don't want to say anything disrespectful to Charlie McAvoy, but like, he has had successive seasons of being injured for extended bouts of and durations of time, right? Like, well, I mean, literally, Boston season derailed last season because McAvoy went out for such a long time, right? In which case, that is low-rise season all over again. I think low-rise has such higher ceiling.
And then next one, Moose Man. I like that one. Would you trade Darlene for Sanderson? I looked it up. It's kind of a trade-off in peripherals in some ways. Like, I think one was a little bit better at hits, one is a little bit better at blocks. But I feel like Darlene has a little bit higher of a ceiling. I know Darlene is missing some time right now because of his fiance. But I feel like to me, the comparison is, would you want like Ottawa Senators Erik Karlsson or Tampa Bay Lightning Victor Hedman? Like, because I feel like a lot more of the offensive play is going to go through Darlene, just because there's not a ton of offensive talent on that team, versus Sanderson. Like, he might be a great defenseman who's going to get in on a lot of the play, but he himself is not driving the play. He's just going to get in a lot of it. I don't know how you feel, Jay.
This was kind of like last season when Matthews went to Germany. It's kind of how I'm picturing it a little bit. Where
I think this is totally. I don't think Rasmus Dahlin is getting hair plugs, Jay.
Oh man, that's incredible. No, but what I meant to say was that Matthews last season, was playing pretty well. Point per game. And I think that sort of setup where Dahlin comes back and is, a solid player could come to fruition. I just don't know what the issue with the personal setup was. Like, sometimes when it's personal, it's a small thing that, they kind of resolve. They come back in a short period of time. And then sometimes it's like one of those like pretty serious, and the more you unpack, it's like, oh dear, and then I just wonder if that rolls over into like the personal rolling into professional performance and play and whatnot. And it's an interesting one because, again, like, we are talking in the present. We don't know until hindsight kicks in, and it's like, oh yeah, who could have foreseen that? I agree that I think Darlene's ceiling is higher. I'm just wondering if maybe we can give listeners like a ballpark number, Alan. Like how
So
many
okay,
games?
so how many
Let's say
games
games
we think
missed.
Darlene's gonna miss?
No,
Ouch!
no, no, no. No. What I meant was more
Hmm.
so if Darlene misses 3 more games, let's say, as an example, then I
Hmm.
think sacrificing 1 game week, I would definitely want to keep Darlene. If Darlene misses 30 more games, right?
Ouch, yeah.
That is one where I'm saying that's 10 game weeks, and that could literally make or break my season, in
Sure.
which case I would want the lower ceiling but the higher floor of
And that
Sanderson.
sucks is it's hard to say at this point in the season, because if we were later in the season, it's like, well, if you're still top of table, despite having
Right.
Darlene be out, then hang on to Darlene.
Yes.
You know, especially because at that point we would know, yeah, especially like kind of to Armin's point, you know, if Darlene was going to be back for playoffs and, you know, Buffalo's got a great playoff schedule, we would want
For
to
sure.
hang on to Darlene. But, you know,
For
we're
sure.
still single digit weeks. We don't know how long he's going to be out. I think it was like a heart surgery or something. That's a big fucking
Right.
deal. He could be out weeks. So yeah,
I think
it's hard to say, but like depending on how much time he misses, it could end up being a lateral trade. It could end up being that he misses so much time that Sanderson, you end up coming out a little bit ahead.
For sure.
But the types of player they are, I don't know. I would still almost rather have Darlene because he will drive more of the play than Sanderson.
And I think for the listeners, right? Like it's right. Trade Jones for Dolly. I love it. Well, the big one is I think 3 is a good metric because 3 is generally the number of games played in a week, right? So I would say 30 games is ridiculous. If it was 30 games missed, which I think is super, super duper unlikely, that would be actually one where you just want the guy that's the floor. If you have 3 games, you want the guy with the ceiling. So wherever they fall between 3 and 30 games is where you're kind of metricing. And I want to also say, look at your own standings. If you're 5-1, obviously you want the higher ceiling dude. If you're 1-5, you do not have that luxury. Like you need.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, if you're 1-5, maybe it's
you
not
need
a throw in the towel move, but you need the now wins. Yeah,
you need drastic cuts to shift your fortunes in your favor. Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah, Armin's statement about the Olympics. Yeah, I would say that's probably
hopefully.
I mean,
I'm sure he would very much love to. But we'll see.
100%.
So yeah, let's take a couple questions from the chat here. So D Stu, trade Spencer Knight for Vasilevsky. Oh man,
as it receive Vasilevsky? Like, is the guy going to give
that's
you
tough.
Vazzy?
Like I don't know if I make that trade. I know that like Tampa's in trouble right now because of injury woes. And again, Vazzy missed camp, so he is getting up to game speed. So think Swayman from last year, which is part of why, like, again, if for this weekend, like if they get Hedman and McDonough back, JoJo's actually been pretty good to start. But yeah, if someone wants to give you that on paper, if someone wants to give me Vazzy for Spencer Knight, but Spencer Knight's actually been pretty good. And yeah, it's don't weird. Look now, but Chicago's in like the top 10 in the league right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I give up Spencer Knight. I almost think he's a hold.
It's kind of weird to see like the stats flip on the players' names. You know what I mean? I'm like, why does Vazzy have Spencer Knight stats? And why does Spencer Knight have Vazzy stats? You know, like what is going on here?
Right. Like I said, he missed camp, and then tonight they were just missing dudes, and the Rangers were playing an away game.
that road buff. Oh man. I don't know if I would trade. Like the problem for me, I would say right now is at what point do we want to say the goalies kind of consolidate? As in last season, I remember seeing trade offerings, rumblings about trading away Shesterkin. Shesterkin got traded away and didn't do much afterwards. Like he didn't have that crazy bounce back season. So I think at a certain point, and Alan, I don't know if this is a great thing to say, you know, talking about a Tampa Bay Lightning goalie right now. But I'm like, okay, at what
Right,
cutoff?
he
do we
hates that, man. There was that whole award show after the playoffs that didn't happen where like he took that shit personally.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you trade Knight. I think you hold him right now.
Because he's
I
doing all
honestly
this.
I haven't looked under the hood at Chicago, but the fact that they're top 10 in the league right now, that Bedard is like in the he had another power play goal tonight. I don't know if he scored again since that. He is in like the Art Ross like top 5. Like I no, like hold on to Spencer Knight.
This almost sounds anathema, Alan, but like I almost would rather, like, if you could give me the 2 goalies right now, I would definitely rather would hold Spencer Knight for now. But more so, I would say just in terms of like consolidating existing points, wins as the game weeks go, because I think Chicago is turning, I guess, maybe Bedard, right? Like maybe Bedard is leading that sort of, I guess, turn to corner for Chicago. And
this this could very well be his quote breakout season.
Right.
He just looks different this season. And they haven't really added a whole lot. It's weird. But yeah, and then Armin's got a really good question here. I don't know if I have a straightforward answer with it, and we'll make this the last question before we hang up. Any forwards you can think of, you can trade Dobson or Klingberg for. It's a Cats league with hits and plus minus, but no blocks. Klingberg really only going to get you points. Dobson's tricky since there's no blocks. But yeah, Dobson, you're probably going to get like a 40, 50 point guy for. Klingberg, I don't know what you trade him for, because again, Klingberg just gets you power play points, maybe points, but nothing else.
Well, I'm looking at some of the names that are popping up, and I'm thinking like, okay, so I'm going to go crazy first, right? Kirill Kaprizov, insanity. No one would do it, right?
Right.
Then let's look at the guy like a couple spots under him, Nick Suzuki.
Or Uyghur. And Uyghur's hard too. With, again, no blocks makes it hard. And Uyghur will take your plus minus.
Right, but I'm going to go a couple spots down, as in scoring wise. This is a guy a couple of spots down from Kirill Kaprizov, Nick Suzuki.
I think you got to go lower.
Right, okay. Will Cooley?
Okay.
He's right under Nick Suzuki, which is insanity for me to say aloud, honestly. I think you go lower still, right? Like
a little bit lower. I mean, I feel like Cooley is a little hot right now, especially with tonight's game against Tampa. And then I think I forget what their last game was, who their last game was against, but I know they scored quite a few goals there too.
You're saying half of his scoring pops up in the last 2 games?
Yeah, in the last 2 games.
Yeah, probably.
You're basically selling high on Cooley and laugh right now.
Brad Marchand.
Shoot. I don't know. I feel like Marchand is one of the Panthers that's like really scoring right now.
Actually healthy, right?
Yeah.
Nick Schmaltz.
No, yeah, I think you got to go lower.
Now, a couple of the names afterwards have more name recognition, like Martin Necas, Sebastian Aho, Tomas Hertl. I think those guys are still pretty high. But then you get to some names. I was
Hertl, you might be able to sneak someone like Dobson or Uyghur, because you might be trading your riffs for points.
Right. But then you end up with some random names, and they're just hot right now, Alan. You know what I mean? Like Heineman is up there. Ryan O'Reilly is up there. Timo Meyer is like, around that region too. It's tough to find exact. And by the way, Evander Kane is right around there too, but he's even like on the free agency. Like it's that sort of setup where you look at
it's trade with the waiver wire. Drop one of those guys for Evander Kane.
Right. Now,
when Armin's saying like someone is like ice cold right now,
but even the ice cold Panarin just got baked.
I know. I hate that. Like posted that short about TJ talking about Panarin. It's like, oh, he scored 2 goals tonight. Shit. I guess that window's closed.
Right. because then you get into some, because I think the problem with grabbing some of those names is then you go to actual dudes and you can't tell if you're trying to fleece or you're getting fleeced. Like if I mention a dude called, like Dylan Gunther or like Jean-Gabriel Pajot, like are you really getting value if you're giving up Dobson at that point? You know what I mean? Like you're sitting there going, wait, am I just buying the Kool-Aid or is, like, you know what I mean? Like it gets confusing after a while, which is
Right.
kind of annoying when you're scrolling through and trying to find value, right? Like the guys don't match up in a line. If we're really going to go, Alan, I'm going to scroll down. I'm just going to click like,
I know.
3 or
See,
4
I'm looking at
down.
trying to look at some of these cold players.
Okay.
Oh, you know
what
what?
about this one?
He's like ice cold, and I know it's deployment based, but you could
Yeah.
probably get someone. You could probably get the Thomas Harley owner to part with him if you believe in Thomas Harley.
Okay. I was going even further down, and I was thinking, well, not further down, sorry. Different setup with wingers, but I was like, what about Slavkovsky?
Oh, yeah, because I mean, even his deployment's been shaken up lately. I think in the last game they played, they put Demidov on the top line, and even Logan Cooley has cooled off a little bit.
I just don't. I just get annoyed when I'm talking about guys that genuinely, Alan, I'm looking at them and like, there is a reason these guys are low and like dropping and like relatively lowly. Oh, like they are not the guys that are having and keeping all the metrics of staying power. It's gonna be hard to get some of these dudes and pry them off because also you're dealing with managers that are viewing their dudes higher than what they actually are producing as well. Like,
yeah,
I'm a Tro holder. Lord goodness, I was like,
he
yeah,
just
he's gonna
came
come
back.
back.
You can't trade him. That's again, you're trying to buy Berkshire Hathaway.
100%. Oh,
yeah,
I have one guy though. What about Rope Hintz?
Yeah. I mean, they're shaking up the lines there right now. Yeah, this could be a decent time to buy low on him.
Rope Hintz,
or yeah,
maybe?
like if someone's holding on to Matt Duchene, hasn't played a game yet. Sounds like he's on the verge of returning.
Or if we talked about the guy all the way in the back on the Ducks, like Troy Terry, I would say in terms of trade targets is probably the most accessible, right? Like I'm not saying Cutter Gauthier you wouldn't want. He's not accessible. Like he will not trade with you. But a Troy Terry, he could be a guy. He's pretty hot now too, but you could still kind of buy low on him depending on roster needs of your roster and the opponent's roster. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, Armin, when you were saying Gunther, I was even looking and I'm like, Gunther, I'm checking on that positional eligibility as well too, right? I was like, does he have?
There we go. I think it was probably.
Yeah, I guess he's not. Yeah, left, right. I don't know. I would feel iffy if I was the Gunther owner trading for a Dobson. But if I was a Terry holder, I would definitely, muse over a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where you stand, Alan.
Yeah, I just I feel like those Ducks are going to be a little hard to get right now. With them scoring as much as they are, you might have to wait them out a little bit. But yeah, I think that's probably good enough. We'll probably call it. We crossed the hour threshold.
Let's do it.
But thanks for listening. Again, we'll be back this Saturday with Sistar Saturday, and then at some point over the course of the weekend, TJ will be here with the Week 7 script, fresh from the NHL. Good night and good mental health.
We'll pick you up later.